So hi, this is my very first video of the year. I'm definitely recording. It's Mr. Taylor. Hi. This is the first one I've recorded of many probably. And I just wanted to show you a couple of fun tools you might want to use. We're going to get to do less of this just because of our situation this year. And I want to show you one of these which you can do kind of on your own, and the other which is kind of a fun game, depending on how you want to investigate this. But normally we do a lot of what's called constructions in geometry, where you'd use a compass, which is something that makes a circle, and a straight edge, which is something that makes a straight line, to construct certain shapes. In this case, it's a equilateral hexagon, or what's called a regular hexagon. And I really love this game. Mr. G, who you'll hear about often, who doesn't teach at the school but did, love this game. And I'm just going to show it real quick, and then I'm going to show you how to do this. Well, what if I want to do this, but I don't want to play the game? If you log in, it'll remember what you were doing. I'm in alpha level because I evidently haven't done it on this browser. I'm trying to make an equilateral triangle. Okay, and they kind of show you how to do it, and there's some different kind of goals depending, which I'll let you read about, but the main thing is, can you do it? And then depending on how you do it, you get a better score. So I'm trying to make an equilateral triangle. How can I do that? I've only got a couple of tools down here, but I think because I've done this before, I'm like, well, if I draw a circle, and this would be my radius, and then if I drew another circle, for this is the center, and this is this, I'm like, oh, now maybe it's more obvious to me how I would do that. If you didn't know that trick, might not be. And then I could kind of connect these. And a line, another straight edge, line, and boom, equilateral, okay? And I got all my points there. You're gonna have to read this, but it's kind of a fun thing, and it will reveal more tools. You can totally learn like all the traditional, and even maybe some ones I don't know, of how Euclid, who's credited with coming up with most of this stuff, I think 3,000 years ago, if I remember correctly, how he came up with a lot of these things. And so this is something we're not going to get to do as much of. Let me show you how to do it if you're just like, well, what if I want to kind of draw some of these things on my own? So once again, this was, and you'll see this link out there, but it's called Euclidea.xyz, Euclidea XYZ up there. Or I actually think I looked up geometry game drawing fun, and it's what came up. The other thing is Desmos, but not the regular Desmos calculator. The regular Desmos calculator looks like this. Where's just the graphing? Looks like this. This is a totally cool calculator. We played around with it a little bit in class, but that's not what we want. We want desmos.com/geometry. And you've got this set of tools up here. There's some other ones hidden down here that you could look at later. To start with, you're like, oh, can I do an equilateral triangle? Well, let me draw a circle, okay? And then I'll draw this. And then, now I could guess a circle. I could guess an equilateral now and say, hey, you know, this goes here and this goes here. Hey, that looks like an equilateral. Oops. Okay, that is what's known as a sketch. That kind of looks like an equilateral triangle. If I marked all three sides as being congruent, it would be a sketch of an equilateral triangle. But the problem is, this is not an equilateral triangle. This thing is variable, okay? So let me undo it. Can I undo? I think there's a way to undo. Where's my undo button? There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna undo it, and I'm going to do this circle. And then I'm going to do this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now the cool thing about this now, this thing, no matter how big I make the circles, ooh, okay, that equilateral triangle always stays the same way. I'm trying to think. One more thing that you will often see, and then I'm going to be done. I'm going to undo all these. Very often you are asked to do what's called a perpendicular bisector. Okay. I want to cut that line in half exactly, and I want to make a line that's straight up and down through it. We typically call this fish, because if you do it in class, it actually kind of looks like a fish. So I'm going to do that again, and now if I connect these 2 points, I'm going to do it with a line instead of a. It's right here. That is perpendicular. It's 90 degrees, and I can show you it's 90 degrees. And it's also at the midpoint. It's exactly halfway, and I can prove that too. And what's cool is, once again, if I move this around, if I make my radius bigger or smaller, no matter where I put it, it's always perpendicular. Let me prove that. Okay. So There's my angle tool. 90 degrees, boom. And I can also, I think there's a measurement tool in here. Is there a measurement tool? Maybe not. I want to measure these two things, and I might be thinking of a different tool there. So yeah, I may not be able to measure that. I think I am. I think I'm thinking of GeoGebra, which, just let me give a plug for that, give equal time to the competition. GeoGebra.org, also very cool. You might check that out as well. That has some very cool resources for doing the same thing, and I know you can measure in that. That's it. Thanks for watching. Now, how do I stop? Still not stopped. There we go. Bye.